Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. In this video, I am going to explain educational challenges of deaf children in India. This article I wrote on 31st March 2020 and my suggestion already I sent to our union government through citizens portal mygovernment.in. Content for this video I given in the description, you can go through and study. The education system urgently needs to be updated to make the development of social and life skill easier for deaf community. Most schools use the oral approach in the classroom. It is a rare school that uses signs in the classroom. Rural Indian deaf often do not receive an education due to being needed as laborers and the distance that must be traveled to go to school. Most of the major organizations gathering and schools for the deaf are in the larger urban areas. Many Indian deaf migrate to the cities for education and jobs. Jobs are likely to be either unskilled or a manual trade if skilled. Male Indian deaf are more likely to go to schools and to stay in school longer than females. Even though hearing loss is a deficiency which can be solved by a better penetration of sign language across educational institutes and workplaces, we barely pay attention to it. As a result, a large number of students end up pushing themselves till class 10, after which they let go of their dreams of higher studies. Why? Because India does not have a single college that imparts higher education in sign language. According to several social workers, deaf Indians who cannot access formal education learn signs primarily when they meet other deaf people. As Indian Sign Language is not formalized or widely taught, however, the signs themselves vary widely across regions and states. Assigned at home may not be used outside, but ISL can allow people to communicate across the country. In India, for 20 lakh deaf children, there are only 250 to 300 interpreters available. That's the official count, we are aware. There is a need of training and developing resources and sensitizing the hearing community towards the social issue prevailing in the non-hearing community. Even though the Indian Sign Language is very much present, there is an extremely low penetration of the same even in the urban population. To learn anything in the world, it is important to know a language, and to learn a language, it is important to hear and speak. Since the child with deafness cannot hear, see, unable to develop a language, and hence it becomes difficult for them to learn. So if you are hard of hearing or cannot hear at all, the lack of resources to educate yourself is so less in the country, you will need to let go of any hopes of studying a mainstream subject and instead learn traditional vocational subjects like bookbinding, saree bordering, laddu making, milk and dairy products, etc. with one vernacular language. Children usually don't report hearing problems for fear of being marked as abnormal. The main support deaf or hearing impaired children get comes from parents and teachers, but a mass mindset change is required in India before these children can become part of the conventional educational system. Because of the problematic mindset in India regarding deafness, children would most likely never tell their peers and teachers to repeat themselves or toss a microphone, which can actually solve the issue. Children usually don't report the hearing problems for fear of being marked as abnormal, suppressing their problems so that they are not thought of as abnormal creates even bigger issues. The kids do not learn how to communicate and don't really understand much of what is taught in class. As they grow older, the problem increases. In most cases, children with hearing impairment or complete hearing loss keep away from other students in ordinary classrooms to avoid standing out. An inferior complexity arises in a child when he/she compares self with non-hearing. This inferiority complex creates hatred and biased outlook towards the society in a child. They end up spending a lot of energy just trying to understand what the teacher is saying and trying to keep up with their peers in taking notes. Moreover, they also end up tired and suffer from headaches by the time school is over for the day. Ultimately, the primary issue that plagues deaf children is that they are mostly unable to get a job as they whenever taught employable skills. The system in special schools is unfortunately very traditional. They are focused on traditional vocation courses rather than mainstream. Also, there is an age difference between a non-hearing and hearing due to the late intervention of disability. The absence of mainstream subjects like maths and English makes it difficult for students to study higher education. Most students are not encouraged to take mainstream higher education, instead are asked to take up any vocational jobs training and get a job. This is because some schools and social workers believe these students won't be able to do higher education because they lack language and numerical skills. Top challenge for deaf and hearing impaired students learning English.